Hey guys, it's Jake here at Canadian Cutting Edge, and today I'm looking at an Enlan knife. This is the EL-02 and the EL-02B. The EL-02, I don't know if I can find it anywhere for sale anymore. I should have done these reviews a long time ago. I'm going through my knives since I came back. I did the vacation thing, visited my family and stuff, come back, and I'm sorting through all my knives and stuff, and I'm realizing I've got some knives I've had for a while that I meant to review and I just never did. And this is one of them. It's a full-size folder, over 3 inches, close to 3.5 inches. And if I remember correctly, I'll give you the full specs later on, so stick around for that. But what we've got is, this one's got a satin blade. This one's got a stonewash blade. This one's just got a flat G10 handle with that texture on it. This one's got a polished, rounded G10 handle. And those are the two main differences, stonewash or not, and the handle finish. They're both black. They're both right side tip up pocket clip, exactly same blade shape, hollow grind, 8CR13 MOV steel, which is a reasonable budget steel. So why don't you stick around for the full review coming at you right now. Enlan's been making knives for a while, and this knife is a knife that's been on the market for a while, and that's why it's hard to find it. This one's been discontinued everywhere I look. If you know of a place where you can find the Enlan EL-02 with the flat G10, that polished G10, please let me know. Send me a link at CanadianCuttingEdge@gmail.com or in the comment section. I like this one better, actually, than the regular G10 with that sort of pattern on it. You can see the pattern that's on the surface. Very typical pattern for G10. They did a good job with it. I just like the smooth, polished surface better. Stonewash, I like the stonewash better. So I'm probably going to swap these two handles scales around and put the smooth handle scales on the stonewash. But for the video, I needed to show you exactly how I got them. We've got a nice drop point, hollow grind, lots of belly, decent flat area here. They don't have your typical rounded out sharpener's choil, but effectively this is a sharpener's choil here. The purpose of that is when you go to sharpen your knife, you're not going to run into the ricasso. You're not going to run into the transition zone between the grind and the ricasso. You're just going to end, sharpening at a good spot. We've got big handles on here, and we've got a slight choil here, if you will, for your index finger, and then another one here for your middle finger. And then we've got this raised section here, and your last two fingers go back there. It's a really good grip and a really good way to grip it. And my hands are large, bordering on extra large, but not quite there. So obviously this knife can handle extra large hands, and yet it's small enough to be comfortable in large hands. Really, really good that way. 8CR13 MOV steel, as I said in the intro. That's a good Chinese steel, 57 Rockwell hardness usually, and Enlan does a good job with it. Cuts well. As I mentioned, G10 handle scales. We've got open pillar construction, and we've got that nice little hourglass design in the pillars right there. A nice extra touch. Liners that are skeletonized, and that's good to see. Especially on these older knives. This was designed and made around the time when Genzo wasn't even doing skeletonizing yet, and Enlan already was, so that's a really good thing. The fit and finish is good. The alignment for the blades are pretty good on both of them. We've got an axis lock right here. The blade play is not there. It's a good solid blade. The washers, we've got a phosphor bronze washer, probably phosphor bronze, it's bronze anyways, and one white nylon washer, and they're very smooth. I don't know if I can do it under here just the way it is. It's very easy to open and close these knives, and I can do it just by actuating the lock and then flicking it. So that's really good. The pocket clip is right side tip up only. You can't change it to the other side at all. Sorry about that, left-handed guys, because axis locks are effectively ambidextrous, so it'd be great if they had ambidextrous pocket clips as well, right? Let's give you the dimensions for everything here. Cutting edge, 8.64 centimeters, 3.4 inches. Blade length, so from the end of the handle to the tip of the blade, 9.14 centimeters, 3.6 inches. The blade thickness, at its thickest spot, 3.2 millimeters, that's 0.125 inches. The thickness of the edge behind the grind is 0.66 millimeters, which is 0.026 inches. On a hollow grind, I like it to be, a little bit thicker because you don't have a lot of substance behind that edge to keep the edge strong. So, how I usually say half a millimeter, that's best on a flat grind, and maybe just, a tiny bit more, 0.6 millimeters is good for a hollow grind on a over 3-inch pocket knife. The smaller you get, the thinner I want that final edge. The handle length is 12 centimeters, 4.72 inches. The grip area, 9.67 centimeters, 3.81 inches. The handle thickness is 1.24 centimeters, which is 0.487 inches. That's on the EL-02B. On the EL-02, it's a little bit thicker, 1.42 centimeters, 0.56 inches. So just over half of an inch thick on this handle and just under half of an inch on this handle. The total length of the knife is 21.14 centimeters, which is 8.32 inches. They weigh very much the same, 131 to 134 grams, 4.6 to 4.7 ounces. This is the EL-02B. You can still find it around for about $14 US. I've got links for GearBest in the description below. I recommend that you buy from GearBest. They are the best online Chinese vendor. I keep buying from other vendors too, and whenever I need customer service, it's just never as good. Sometimes the price at GearBest is a tiny bit more, and that's usually because they add a little bit of shipping on it. Shipping on this is $2 or $3 if you only buy one knife. But the other guys, I just don't trust them. I just don't. I've had so many problems, especially with Fast Tech and some of the other ones. I just don't buy from them unless they have a knife that nobody else has. Then, of course, I'm going to want the knife, right? But when I can find the knife at a lot of places, I stick with GearBest. And that's not just because they send me some free knives sometimes. I bought both of these. But I loved them before they started sending me knives. They started sending me knives just to sort of, when they started sending me knives, that was just another proof that, they're really good and generous and they care about their brand. Large enough for extra large hands, yet small enough for large hands. I think it's small enough for medium-sized hands as well. Skeletonized liners, that's a big pro. It is still under your 5 ounces. That's good. The sharpener's toil thing is a really good touch. The edges come quite sharp from the factory. The thumb stud placement is good. Sometimes thumb studs come out a bit too far and then they get in the way of cutting. This time the thumb studs are nice back, so when you're cutting through something, it's not going to catch on there. Chances are much better when they're, and where the placement is, it's perfect for deploying the knife. So that's a good thing if you want to deploy it that way, or if you want to deploy it with a flick of the wrist. Either one works really well. I don't like this access lock grip, and I'm going to give you a close-up picture of that. Because it's like there's effectively a slot through there so you can unscrew the bulb part on this access lock handle, but it leaves the edges sharp. And when you're using the tender part of your fingertip and thumb tip to actuate the access lock, sometimes you're grabbing pretty hard and then you end up getting, tender spots on your finger. So I don't really like that very much at all, and that's a big deal. The other thing I don't like is you've got proprietary screws right here on the pivot. So it's a 3-hole screw. I'll show you a picture of my driver that I bought for it. But that driver cost me like $18. But, I'll try to give you a link for that if you want to buy one. I have a lot of Enlan knives that have this pivot screw this proprietary screw. And so I ended up buying it and I use it. So the things I don't like are right here. And the things I like is everything else. Nice lanyard hole here. It's a good knife. Let's cut some things. Here I've got this 1-inch wide banding. It's MOLLE type banding. Just slides right through that. Well, here, let's grab the other knife. This is the stonewash one now. You can just see it just cuts through that. No problem at all. We've got some paper here. You want to see how well this cuts. Pretty good. I've had these knives over a year, both of them. And I've done nothing to the edges. I haven't stropped them or anything. And, you know, they're still cutting pretty good. So that's not a problem. I like these knives. They feel good. They look good. And they're inexpensive. At $14 US, this is a really good deal. And if you just can't get past this proprietary stuff of these pivot screws and the tenderness of these axis lock, hey, don't buy the knife. If there's anything you don't like about a knife, don't buy it. Save your money for knives that you really like. But if you liked the video, and I'm not talking about the knife, I'm talking about the video. So many people get this wrong. If you like the video, give me a thumbs up on the video, even if you hate the knife. The thumbs up is for the video, not for the product. So thank you so much for that. Thanks for liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing, all that other good stuff. And remember to always cut towards your chum and not your thumb.